Welcome back to the Proof It's Possible series. I'm so excited. I love this series so much. These women have been incredible to share their story. Today's guest has been quietly doing the behind the scenes work for years now. She's been building her confidence, launching her apparel brand, and showing up for herself even when life got hard. And then we had a plot twist with a recent layoff. And instead of panicking, she realized she had already began building everything that she needed. So she is officially launching her VA business and already has signed 2 clients before she's even told anyone that it existed. This is what betting on yourself actually looks like. Today, my client and friend, Mikki McCleery, who is also the founder of Passion Threads, an apparel brand created to remind women of their power and worth, a virtual assistant who helps female business owners get out of the weeds so they can focus on their true genius. I'm just so excited, Mikki. You are so special to me and have been in the Beam world for so long, and I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're going to really get into it because I feel like your story is relatable to so many women who put a lot of time and energy into being a good mom and put time and energy to a 9 to 5 career, but also really want something for themselves, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been in the Beam life for a really long time. You're like an OG, like been through all the programs, have worked one-on-one with me, have been in memberships, all the things. And of course, featured at Beam Live as a vendor, which was really cool to watch it all come full circle. But I'd love to take us back to when you and I first met. And I'm curious, like, what was going through your mind at the time when you kind of like decided to reach out for coaching? Because it wasn't initially for business coaching.
Yeah. No, it was I ended up looking out because I was looking for a community to be around other women and do something for myself because I was so highly focused on my son and I forgot about me.
And then how did you then decide, okay, you've been working on yourself for a while and then you decided, let's birth passion threads into the world. Like, where did you get that idea?
I used to I would write myself motivational sayings on my gym mirror and that was my reminder. And of course, talking in the community and saying out loud that that's what I wanted to create. I was like, you know what? You just have to do it. E Even if it was for myself, right? Just so that I can have the stuff. That was I just wanted it to come to life.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about passion threads. Like, what specifically is the concept and the idea behind it?
So the concept is to be reminding women of their power. Um, we're way stronger than what we think we are. We're not just the moms, the wives, the friends, we're our own individual people. And sometimes we need that extra push or the reminder with the different motivational sayings.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, I think that one of the biggest struggles, at least that I see, is women investing in themselves, like paying to be in a coaching container, paying to be a part of a community, paying to get their business LLC, right? Like those are all investments in ourselves and our dreams. Like as soon as our kid, in your case, kid says, "Hey, I want to be part of this like basketball club." We're like, "Okay, I don't care how much. We'll just do it because it brings us joy to see them happy." But when it comes to ourselves, a lot of women are like, "Oh my gosh, that's terrifying." So, how did you talk yourself? Maybe you didn't have to talk yourself into it. I don't know, but curious, like, what was it that helped you to make the decision to invest in you versus like, how we normally do for our family, kids, and all the other things?
I knew I needed to do something different. It's one of those like the saying, keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's like you're not going to get anywhere. And I was just I'm not gonna say the word miserable, but it was like I was just in this dungeon of being a mom only. So I was like, I have to do something for myself in that way. And that was my investment. And it is the best decision I'd ever made. Cause from then till now, I mean, it's a 360.
You're
It's completely
literally like
different.
a different person.
A different person, literally.
But I love it because just when I think, okay, she's like reached this threshold, I'm like, you crack open a new layer. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this version of Mikki over the last 3 years? Like, you just keep evolving, keep shining. One thing before we go further into the business stuff, I really want to hear more about like, I think as, a mom and we have so much responsibilities, we can feel really alone, right? In our thoughts and and even though we have partners, it just still feels like a lot in the mental load as being a mom. So, what do you feel like not investing in yourself, not taking these steps? Like what was it costing you to kind of get stuck in this cycle?
It was really costing my mental health. I was feeling guilty for doing everything. Um, Taking time, like, I would have to wake up early instead so that I can, like, be there for my son the entire time. Um, but I think it's more of that. I was just mentally not, like, in a healthy mindset until I really started investing in myself. I was very on a burnout mindset at that moment, and I knew I needed something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on that and just feeling like, okay, I hope that people are listening really consider the fact that it's easy to say you need something different, but then look at what can happen when you actually do something different. And I want to talk more about passion threads because that was your first baby. And the thing I love about the women that are in this community is like, of course, do we all want millions of dollars? Yes. But I think the biggest thing we want is to live a life that feels exciting and not leaving any regrets on the table, right? And just doing the thing. And so you actually had this idea to have a t-shirt company and not only just have a t-shirt company, but then be able to sell at events and put yourself out there online. What has helped give you the confidence to do those things? Like where did this come from?
Doing the internal work at the end of the day, is what allowed me to do it, and I didn't wanna go down the road, like, later and be like, "I regret not even trying." I had to try so that I knew for myself that I was able to do it, and I also can show my son at the end of the day too of anything you put your mind to at the end of the day, it is possible if you really wanna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, your son is so lucky to have you as an example because truly you don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk, right? And you literally show up and you're like, I don't know, this is, how did you deal with like, this might not work out? Or like, let's actually just talk about that the first time you printed t-shirts and like, I would love for you to share that story because I think that that is such a classic entrepreneurship story. Like, share a little bit about that experience and tell us what happened.
So my first set of, T-shirts that I did, I ended up having 2 different designs on the one shirt. So
My daughter
I
still has the shirt. I was like, I have a Passion Threads original.
yeah, I have one of the originals too where it says "Be Her Now" in the back, and I can't remember what it says in the front. But yeah, that was an experience because when I saw it, of course, I went into the mindset like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't working out," like, all this stuff, but I was like, "That's one mistake," right? Now it teaches me to be even more careful when I'm designing.
Yeah. And like compassionate, right? Because it's so normal to have something not go 100% right. We're doing something we've never done before.
Yeah.
So even just to be brave enough to do it in the first place, to have a mistake, in my opinion, is something to celebrate. What would you say has shifted in you the most, not just as a person, but also as a business owner during these last 3 years that you have really been pursuing your dreams and your businesses?
So I feel like I've always had like a bigger vision of what I wanted to do for myself. I wanted to be able to do my own thing. I've worked full time for many, many, many years. Um, but I wanted to have something that was mine at the end of the day. that I can
Yeah.
call mine, that I can, you know, share with the world, something that I'm just super excited about.
Yeah. And you like literally hit the nail on the head when you said, I just want to have something that's mine because I feel like that's why I do what I do. I think that every woman should have something, especially moms, something that we can call our own. And it's not that like we don't want to share, but also we don't want to share. We just, we want to have something that we can be like, you know what? Like my kids have this thing, my spouse has this thing, but like this is my thing. And I don't like I get to have my own community of girls to do it with. I get to have my own special thing that like no one in my family has to deal with it. It can just be for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's so cool that that's been one of the biggest shifts for you because truly like that is something that lights me up so much to witness. I want to like fast forward because as you've mentioned, like you've worked full time your
Mhm.
entire life and you have been in a career path and you've been doing all of this as essentially a side hustle.
Yeah.
And I know because through our coaching community and being in this space with you that you're like I want to start a VA business, right? And it was just this little seedling and then recently we've had a big plot twist. So tell us a little bit about what happened to that. I know you just shared this recently with your email list, which also recommend because I love your emails that you send us. I feel like oh, she's
Mhm.
talking right to me. I'll put the link down below in the show notes, but tell us a little bit about what has happened recently.
So recently, I was laid off from my job as a paralegal. I've been working for that company for about 3 years, um, and I was laid off for no reason. So it was a very unexpected thing that happened, um, but I think really it's a blessing in disguise because now I'm really moving forward as a CEO of my VA business.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
Yes, you are. So many women would have like panicked, which I think there's like that initial feeling of like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Because, like you said, there was no warning of this. This was not something like that the company was doing, it was just sort of out of nowhere. And a reactive thing that most people would have done is like, oh my gosh, I need to go apply for like a million jobs right now. And you have not done that yet. And instead, you're like, I want to go all in on me. So, what is helping you make that decision? Because obviously, finances these days are something we have to all consider.
Yeah, and I think what it is I'm gonna be betting on myself. It's my virtual assistant business is gonna be rocking, and I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I don't wanna have that, like, where just randomly somebody can, like, let me go. I really want it to
Yes.
be based off my own working and how I present myself. I'm a really amazing worker, and just to be, like, randomly let go for no apparent reason, I don't wanna have that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to have control over what it looks like to spend time with your kids and your kid and your family and to be able to take vacations when you want to or work when you want to. And there's a real freedom in that. But also, so many people feel like there's such a safety in a 9 to 5, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, then something like this happens and it's like, well, how safe really is that?
Yeah, I think it's become more of an eye opener. I always thought the safety of the job. That's why I've always stayed where I was at while doing the other stuff more as a side business. Um, so now we'll be reversing it. This will be the full
Yeah.
time business, and if we need something small, we can go part time somewhere.
There you go. There you go. I love that mentality too. And that's truly how I've built the Beam life is like, I'm going to have contracted work, do things outside of here, be sales specific, do that for, as a contractor and then grow my main business. And it gets to be that way when we decide to be the CEO of our own life, which I'm like, I feel like I need to title that this episode is CEO of your own life. It's so good. So you just recently, like I said, we were talking about this VA business. Tell us a little bit more about like what you're specifically doing for female entrepreneurs and how you decided, like, how did you think, okay, this is actually something I'd be really good at. This is the people I want to serve. Where did that come from?
Um, well, at the Beam Live, right? I help with setting up, and I noticed like I thrive off that. I thrive off of helping other women,
Girl,
almost
let
like
me just clarify. This girl ran my ship. Okay. I was having like some personal anxiety attacks, which not a lot of people know. I was like, I need to just stay focused on what's in front of me. And Mikki came in, clipboard whistle. She's like, everybody listen up. Here's how we're going to do it. And she had that shit down. Anyway, didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm like, she can't just say like, oh, I'm like, we need to clarify, set the record straight.
but yeah, it brought me so much joy. I actually like thrive off of that. So I knew I could do helping other people, right? And also taking my skills that I've had for over 10 plus years as a paralegal, right, with deadlines and helping attorneys out. I know for a fact that I would be really good at helping women own businesses, helping with them with their back end office to do the mundane things or the things that, are not maybe the zone of genius, right? We all have to do these things in our business in order
Yes.
to run the business, but to allow then the entrepreneur to do their zone of genius and, get more clients, make more money in their business too.
Yeah, I absolutely think you're such a perfect example of there's a lot of women who are probably listening to this that want to start a business and they're inspired because they're, seeing the title of this episode. They're like, okay, she's a mom. She's worked a 9 to 5. She started off with a side hustle. And then how did she get here? And sometimes people are like, well, what kind of business would I start? And I always ask people, list your skills. Like, what are things you're naturally good at? Like, what can you do with your eyes closed? And that's such, like, you are the perfect example of that, that it's like, okay, here's the things I'm really good at. What kind of job fits those skills? And how can I create a business around doing things that are easy for me, that other people don't think are easy?
Yeah.
Right. And they're annoying to most business owners, but they're things that we have to do. But you're just like, oh, this this flows for me. This is how I do it. I'm just organized. I'm chop, chop, chop. This is how my brain thinks. And voila, here we go. Like a badass VA business. Poof,
Yeah. Yeah.
here we are. I think that that's what's helped you sign these two clients before you've really even massively publicly announced because yeah, how does it feel to like have two clients already and you're literally just getting started?
I mean, I'm through the moon. I love it. I enjoy doing the work for them and yeah, it just brings me joy. And you can tell it helps, right? But it's what one thing I've noticed too is on a for the entrepreneur themselves, it's like letting go of the part. Sometimes that's the hard part. But once you let go, I mean, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't have to think about that again." And
Yes.
it's not like you're going and double checking the person's work because I've got it done correctly the first time.
Yes. Yes. If there's anything, I'm like, if you want it just done right, Mickey's just going to look at it and be like, okay, here, done, signed, sealed. Don't need to check it. Here we go. And again, that comes from your background from paralegal and doing
Yeah.
like administrative, it's not contracts, but it's more of like, yeah, I guess they are. They're contracts, they're briefs, there's things, documents that have to be so literal and very much done correctly. And so your brain is just like, I got this. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. So you have two businesses, Passion
Mhm.
Threads, VA. What does life look like now compared to when you first started 3 years ago? Like how does it feel to be here?
I mean, it feels super exciting. It's a little new adventure in the way of also like figuring out my time for my 8 to 5 typically and figuring out like a new schedule in that way, but it's fun because now I'm able to do the things that I'm really wanting to do, which is hanging out with my son too, doing more family quality time on top of doing what I'm passionate about and being creative with designing for Passion Thread and, helping other women out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so like sad you're wearing your sorry not sorry shirt, which is like my favorite shirt, and mine's dirty. So I'm like, I even looked for it this morning, and I was like, I can't wear this. It smells so bad. I was like, dang it, I should have pre-planned better. But yeah, that just means I need to get another one because it's literally my favorite one. It's so good. So, so good. Okay. So I also feel like we've said it on this episode. You said it in your form too, that each of us is the own CEO of our life. And I'm curious, like, what does that mean to you? And when did you actually start believing this about you and yourself?
I honestly, it really clicked on me the day I got laid off. I'm like, you know what? I am my own CEO. I'm the person that's going to determine my own path in that way based off what my actions that I'm doing and taking in order to be successful. That to me, I mean, me being a CEO is taking ownership of my own life at the end of the day.
Amen. As our friend Amanda always does.
Yes.
Shout out to Amanda. So yeah, I love that. And I want to actually ask you because I've said this now a few times in this episode too. You've been doing this for 3 years now. I feel like it's been longer than that, but let's just say 3+ years. I don't even know. But so many people think it's just going to happen overnight. Right. And so we have an idea and then we go and post something online and nothing happens. And we're like, oh, I guess it was a bad idea. What are the kind of steps you take to keep going? And how do you like set up your days? I mean, just tell us share with us a little bit of the behind the scenes, if you will. Like, how do you keep going when things feel really hard? And also, like, what things do you prioritize?
So I prioritize my like movement for myself. I work out every single day. Um and that helps me for just my mindset as a whole. Um but yeah, like for example, like for my email list when I like announced that I'm my own CEO, I had even put out there about the VA stuff and I only had one response, but more for somebody who's shocked of what happened, right? But I easily could have gone in my head and be like, not gonna work out. Like, I didn't get one
Mm,
response to, like, have an inquiry, but I'm like, "No, this is new, right? This is people are barely getting to, like, know about this." And I think we have to just share the stuff that we do and we love all the time in order for people to see it, because
yeah.
it's not gonna just take the one time. But honestly, like, for me, it's taking care of my own mental health at the end of the day, which is me working out, spending time with friends, and literally is prioritizing myself. If my cup is, like, drained, I can't be there for anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you use the Beam coaching container and the Beam Life community for support? Like, what is your favorite way to utilize the resources?
So I love our beam walks on Wednesdays. It's like our midday, like, just
Yes.
I love like, it's if we don't do it, I'm like, "Oh my gosh,"
Same.
thrown off. So, and for, like, my coaching container that, I'm in and I've been in different containers with you, is the support from the other women in general, right? Either they're bringing you back, like, "You've got this," whatever it is, like our cheerleaders, because sometimes we don't believe stuff in our own, but other people can have that hold that for us and know that it's gonna be successful. And, it's that part to me is the best part of the containers is having the other women's support, whether you have a question, something bad, whether it's business, whether it's personal related, it doesn't matter, right? We have a place to express ourselves and get
Yes.
feedback or just the support that we just all wanna be heard. We want to be heard.
Yeah, we want to be heard and we want to be seen by other people who are, you know, in a similar stage. And all of you in the program are at a similar stage of business where you love your business, you've been doing it for a little while, and you're ready to take it to the next level and willing to put in the steps of both time and money and energy to get it off the ground. What kind of like when it comes to coaching specifically for your business, what has felt really helpful? Like where do you feel like you have gained knowledge of things you didn't have for business from before?
Um, let's see. I mean, I didn't know anything business related, to be honest with you, from the beginning.
You're
I
like,
have been
and everything.
and everything. I mean, literally, even to like open up a Shopify, it was like I didn't even know how to do that for my business. I started off on Etsy and I was like, okay, let's change it here. I didn't know any of it, but I've reached out. And I think with the newest container of the weekly calls, it makes it so easy because we can do like a digestive small portion and like work on that. It's not this
Yeah.
like we have to do it all in one day, right? It's like this like weekly small like little nuggets that we can, handle and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know. I love that that has been a new way that the program is set up is meeting every week. I agree. Even from a coaching standpoint, I'm like, okay, we can really do this little beam brick and
Yeah.
just go get it done, handle it. And then we're going to come back the next week, check that off, and build on the next thing. So, what would you say to women listening right now who have a goal like you to either build a side hustle or to fully become the CEO of their life and leave their business at or their 9 to 5, start their business, but she keeps saying that she's not ready yet. Like what would you tell her?
There's never going to be the right time to start something. You just got to do it, bet on yourself and just try. I mean, lately I've been everything is figure outable. Literally, it doesn't matter what's happening, we can figure this out. You talk
Yes,
to
we
somebody
can.
that's ahead of you, people are always willing to help other women out.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's one of the coolest things about this container too is that even women who have been in the container, left the container, like all of us really do remain very close and supportive. I've been so like blessed to have the most incredible community and that's just a testament to everyone that's come through that's like, "Oh wait, we're going to support each other through and through no matter what." And everyone's at slightly different levels, right? And so it's like but even if you aren't at someone's level, you still have insight on things you see that they can't. And so I think that's what's been really cool too. I love that you said reach out to someone because also when you're in a community, that becomes really accessible, and you're not like, who can I talk to? It's like, no, you have a whole group right here waiting to listen and help
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Where can people find you? Because you've got a lot of different things going on. What's the best place to connect? And of course, I'm going to put everything in the notes below.
So on Instagram at Mikki.McCleery is the best place to reach me at. I will be posting on there for passion threads and my virtual assistant stuff. So yeah,
Amazing. And you are accepting new clients right now
I
for your VA
yes,
business?
yes, I am accepting new clients at the moment.
Y'all heard it here first, y'all. I know that you've got your application too on your page, right?
Yes, I'll provide that to you so we can add it to the show notes too. Yeah.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
I think people would be crazy not to have you support them in their business and getting all the stuff out of their mind that they don't want to do. And I just feel so lucky to have you in the world of the Beam life for so long and in my personal life. And you are somebody that, again, is so special to me. And thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's going to inspire so many women.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yay!